closing the racial wealth gap could be key to other disparities in communities of color, from income to health and education. Building generational wealth could have an impact. Recently, UBS, or the United Bank of Switzerland, launching a wealth management division focused on multicultural investors. And Melinda Hightower is the managing director of their multicultural strategic client segment, and she joins us now. Melinda, how does this program that you're in charge of help close the racial wealth gap?
Thanks, Dylan. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. First things first, the best advice that you can get from financial advice is tailored. So 4 years ago, UBS essentially started creating solutions for individuals whose needs weren't being met by the traditional wealth management and financial advice platform. Individuals like women, millennial investors, and so on. And so recently we've turned our attention to multicultural investors because we all know the financial industry was not built with inclusions in mind. And so what we're looking at here is we're creating products, solutions, advice that really are speaking to the financial needs and priorities of multicultural investors. And with that, we do hope to move the needle on the racial wealth gap.
Melinda, are they putting big bucks on the table, or are they putting black bucks on the table? And by black bucks, I mean just enough, but not enough to get us to the Elon Musk or our Microsoft platforms, where we're seeing people putting people into space while we're simply trying to keep a mom and pop business open.
Sure, and it is not what I would call a treading water effort. It is a end-to-end investor experience overview. And so we have a cross-functional team that's working across the entire bank that's looking at all of our solutions. And we're talking about bottom-up innovative redesign, from the way we give advice to the products on the shelf. And so we think the impact will be substantial. And what our metric is that we are investing as much in this as we would any other business that we would launch.
Melinda, I'm curious, there is $1.4 trillion in buying power in Black America. Does UBS and other businesses get it? Do they understand that Black America is not asking for a handout, or asking for an economic opportunity that will increase your bottom line as well?
We recognize it. We recognize that not only do we have a responsibility as the world's largest wealth manager to ensure that we have high quality investment advice for all investors, but we recognize that it's a good business decision too. You mentioned the buying power. If we want to put a finer number on it, we have upwards of 2 million multicultural investors. That means 2 million investors who have at least $1 million or more to invest. And we estimate that that investing power is closer to $5 trillion. In addition to the consumer purchasing power. So we know that this is an incredible opportunity for the firm that gets it right and intentionally and meaningfully engages and provides high quality advice.
Melinda, I'm curious, your first answer, you said that this has been in the pipeline. COVID was not in the pipeline. And as you know, when America catches a cold, Black America catches the flu, or in this case, COVID. Generational wealth has been wiped out. It had almost started to recover after the housing collapse of '87 and '88. Does your company understand how bad it is out there for Black Americans right now, and Brown Americans as well?
Absolutely, we do. And when you take a step back and look at it, there are really three ways, aside from inheritance, of creating wealth in the US. The first way is real estate. Second is entrepreneurship. And then the third way is investments. When you take a look at those three ways, those three pathways, Black America has largely created wealth through real estate and entrepreneurship. And we've all seen what the pandemic has done to Black businesses. 41% of Black businesses has closed as a result of the pandemic. And we all know ultimately what the pandemic the impact it might have on housing prices. So we understand full well that this is creating wealth, not just preserving it, but creating it is the top priority for Black investors across the US.
Melinda, I remember a friend about 3 decades ago saying that they were going to invest $10,000 in stocks and bonds. And I remember thinking I didn't have $10 to invest in lunch that day, and was praying that my credit card didn't bounce. A lot of African Americans are in that boat still today. What tips do you give people who say, I just don't have money to invest?
So what I would tell that person is that there's always potentially money to invest. It's a question of when you invest and how you invest. If you own a home right now, you have an investment. If you have any amount of money set aside in a savings account, you have an investment. If you are working towards higher education, you have an investment. You're investing in that personal capital. But what I would tell you right now is that you can start investing for as small as $5, a dollar. There are vehicles available for you to start investing immediately. And you can build that amount up over time as well too. What I would tell individuals is many overlook the investment opportunities that are available through their employers. And I think that's the first low-hanging fruit place to start sticking a toe in the water and to start investing by leveraging employers. Some employers have matches when you start investing through your retirement savings program. And that's where I would encourage individuals to get started.
Let me put it in layman's terms. Drop the Starbucks. Melinda Hightower is the Managing Director of Multicultural Strategic Client Segments at UBS. Melinda, thanks for being with us this morning, and stay with us. You're watching DC Today.